So y'all are kind of spread out in a lot of different directions, and it's cool. It seems like we all have computer science in common in some way. I'll introduce myself first. My name is David Stevens. I teach at Drew Charter School. It's located in Atlanta, kind of East Atlanta area, close to Decatur. I've been teaching there for, this is my third school year there. And I've been connected with Georgia Tech and the Constellations department. They've been amazing to us and so many other Atlanta public schools. I teach everything from sixth grade to 12th grade. So we're split between academies. Sixth through eighth, I teach business and computer science. Ninth through 12th, I teach web development, computer science, and AP computer science principles. So that's a little bit of my background. Now, I know with a lot of what we teach, the common thing, and I'm not saying it's the bad thing, but the common thing to teach is anything that's like Microsoft-ish based, JavaScript, things like that. And there's reasons for it. And I think one of the biggest reasons is because our students have more access to it. Apple products tend to be a lot more expensive. Um, and just a lot more expensive. That's really what it comes down to, I think. But at the same time that they're more expensive, a lot of our students and just a lot of us as people use those products. Not everybody, but a lot. Everything from iPhones, iPads, Apple Watches, AirPods, MacBooks, iMacs, all those types of different things. So one of the things I started doing about a year and a half ago was I realized that some of my students didn't seem to be as engaged because it felt like we were coding things that they may or may not ever really use in the future. So I wanted to connect them with really what they had in their pockets and in their book bags, which a lot of them probably didn't have MacBooks, but they did have iPhones. And so I wanted to be able to say, hey, you guys, you're learning the language that you're actually touching your touch screen with right now. So we got to do that for the first time last year. And this year, I found an amazing program that I'm going to show you guys. First of all, let me say this. There's lots of resources for the language is called Swift. Swift is a language that Apple uses. There's lots of resources. And in fact, if you have an Apple product, you can go to the bookstore, Apple Books or iBook, whatever you want to call it, and you can just search like learning to code. And there's so many free curriculum listed throughout there. You can just download it. They even have one specific to teaching AP computer science principles. So that's what I used last year. What I'm about to show you, though, is what I am teaching some of my students this year to learn how to code with Swift, which again is the Apple language. So I'm going to share my screen and show you guys kind of what it looks like. Here we go. So Terry, can you just me by unmuting yourself because I can't see anything on the platform? You guys can see this, right?
Yes, you're good to go.
Awesome. Okay, so first, down here, this is what the Playgrounds app looks like. And when you open it for the very first time, you're going to get a screen that kind of looks like this. And for me, this is so cool. So Playgrounds is available on the App Store. However, it's only accessible with a computer or an iPad. You won't be able to get it on an iPhone, but it is available on an iPad or on a computer or Apple computer. So Apple computer or iPad. And then as you can see here, I mean, this is not nearly everything, but just check some of these things out. You've got like Learn to Code 1, Learn to Code 2, Blues Adventure. So they have things and they even kind of list them. If you can see here, like Brick Breaker, this is a more advanced lesson. This is a more intermediate lesson. This is beginner. So they have all types of different levels that you can download. And all of this is free, by the way. So it's really cool. What else? So really all you would have to do is you could just mess around with it, play around, decide what do you want to do. And they've got everything from like game type learn to code programs to artistic type learn to code. You can see Battleship down here. I mean, how cool is that? You can play Battleship to learn to code. And then you've even got non-Apple people creating programs. Like you can see Microbit. That's something that Constellations is getting us into, which is a really cool thing. You've got Lego over here. So all types of different stuff. What I'm going to show you guys is just Learn to Code 1. It's a beginner it's a beginner lesson or group of lessons, and I'm going to show you guys kind of what it looks like. So I downloaded this using it to teach this year. And here's because I'm running a slightly older MacBook, it's going to be a little bit laggy, a little bit more slow than normal because I'm screen sharing while running this. But if I weren't screen sharing and if I'm in the classroom, it's going to run a whole lot smoother. Or if I had a nicer, newer MacBook or Apple product, it would work as well. And honestly, it looks like it's freezing on me right now. So hopefully this little spinning wheel will go away and I'll get to show you guys what it's looking like. But if not, let me try doing this. I'm gonna try closing the program.
And I added the links to Playground and the CS Principal Swift for you. I added the links in the chat so they can look at those.
Thank you. And right as I closed the program, it opened up for me. So let me retry that. Okay, so over here we've like all of our lessons for this tutorial. You've got functions, for loops, conditional code, and it just goes on and on and on. This lesson, and we're actually not going to get into the sample lesson yet. What I'm going to do first is click on the introduction to run my code, and that's unfortunate. Here we go. Okay. So first things first, while this is loading up, let me share with you all this. Again, knowing that, okay, so I know we're all in different places. Some of your students may have access to Apple products. Like they may have, you may have a Mac lab. You may have iPads available for your whole class. I can go ahead and tell you straight up, in this virtual COVID setting, we did not provide our students Apple products, but they all have Chromebooks. So that's a problem initially because I'm trying to get them to do Apple stuff with non-Apple products. So what I decided to do this year is I'm going to share my screen for all of our Zoom calls. I'm going to run them through a lesson, and then on a Google Doc, I'm going to have them type out what they think the code would be. Then I don't know, out of 20 students, I'll maybe select 2 or 3, and I'll just copy and paste their code into this program, and then we'll get to see it work or run or not run at all or errors or whatever, and we as a class get to tweak it together. So that's kind of how I get around the whole like not having access to Apple products. When they come back, whenever we are back in the building, we will have access to those products, but in the meantime, we're working with whatever we have. So let me just give you kind of a sample lesson. Over here, you see commands. That's what we're looking at. And what I love about this platform is I feel like they explain things so well. So you click introduction. It's going to lead us through commands, as you can see right here. Click next. And, this is stuff I can just kind of talk through with my students. Have you ever followed a recipe to bake something delicious? Or followed instructions to assemble something cool? And what I might do with my students is, hey, tell me something you've built before. Tell me something you've baked before. And you get, oh, I built Legos, or, oh, I made a cake or whatever. And then it says you need to follow the instructions in the correct order or you'll end up with something unexpected. Kind of like right here. I don't know if you saw the animation, but all these little fans were working on the drone, but then this one flew off because someone didn't follow all the steps properly. And they relate it back to code. They say writing code allows you to create your own set of instructions for your device to carry out. Your goal is to figure out which instructions in which order will result in something great. You'll start by writing commands, and I love it. They're highlighting the important things, they're putting in bold. We're talking about commands to move a character, this is your character, named Byte around a puzzle world performing tasks. And then they show you what a command looks like specific to the Swift language. For example, you'll tell Byte to move forward, and this is what move forward would look like. And then collect gem. So you'll notice in just a second, move forward is going to make Byte move forward, and then collect gem is going to make him hop up and grab the. So, and then what I love too, it even talks about syntax and capitalization and camel case and all that. I just love how well they teach it for you. It says, notice the mashed together words. Code is punctuated and spaced like human languages, but commands have no spaces between words. So you see, and what I'll talk with my students is, hey, if you're going to get Byte to collect the gem, it all needs to be put together. But a lot of times we want to do camel case so we can see the different together. And I let them know, if it's camel cased here, whenever we write it in our code, it has to be as well. Otherwise, we're going to run into errors. And then it says commands. This is specific to Swift. JavaScript and others are a little bit different, but it says commands always end in parentheses, and you'll see why later. You'll see why much later on in the lessons, but now I can start coding. And so what I'm going to have you all do is actually check it out yourself. I'm going to try closing this out and give it just a second. Again, my computer is a little bit slower, but we're going to appear over here for Byte to try and get across and collect the gem. While we're waiting on that to load, I'm going to read us our goal. Use Swift commands to tell Byte to move and collect a gem. Your character Byte loves to collect gems, but can't do it alone. In this first puzzle, you'll need to write Swift commands to move Byte across the puzzle world to collect a gem. So here are some of your steps. You will look for the gem in the puzzle world. You'll enter the correct combination of the move forward and collect gem commands, and then you'll press run my code. So hopefully it will allow us to run it, but right now it's not looking too hot. And these are the things, unfortunately, we run into inside of the classroom, with internet connections in the virtual setting, in the virtual world, and even with our devices we have, sometimes, you run into lag or whatever. And so I just try to make the most of it. I try to state the obvious. Hey guys, it's running a little bit slow right now. I may have to restart the program or something to that effect, but just be patient. So here's what I'm going to do. Because it's still loading, I'm just going to try closing out the program and then reopening it. And we will hope.
Now I know what I'm getting you for the holidays.
Yes, feel free to buy me a computer. I will really accept that. All right, work for us, please. So it was just running for us last night. Hopefully it'll run today. Usually it doesn't freeze up like this when I'm on Zoom, and I'm not saying the platform we're on is bad. I just think maybe it's acting a little bit funny with what we've got going on. Let me try closing it one more time, y'all. Sorry about the
and
delay.
For those who prefer a different browser, will it work in Chrome, or would you have to be in Safari? I think did we try that already? I don't know if we looked at that or not.
Honestly, it depends on what platform you're using. What I mean, are you using Google Meet, or are you using, Zoom? Because really all those platforms do is screen. So for me, I usually use Safari, which is kind of the default browser, and then I'll use screen share on Zoom just to show what's going on with my playgrounds. So while I'm waiting for this to load up one more time, y'all feel free to ask any questions specific to this or the Swift language, and hopefully again it'll load up.
And for those that may be wondering, it is all free.
And yeah, it is free, which is awesome. And Terry, I'm trying to watch my screen. Hopefully it'll load up. But while I'm waiting on it, if someone does type a question in chat, could you just let me know so that I can answer it if they're
Absolutely.
asking me specifically?
Let's see. No questions so far.
Thanks, man. Cool. Sounds good.
Is there anyone in the session that's familiar with Swift or has used Swift before in their classrooms? You can respond in the chat.
I'm just going to try a different lesson to see if that one loads up a little bit better for us.
Okay. Sababu said patience is a virtue.
There
Indeed.
it is.
Is there anyone in the session that has a Mac lab physically in their classrooms or have access to Apple devices for students? in the classroom. I just got one. Awesome. So Karen sounds like she just got a Mac Lab, which, by the way, you're very fortunate.
Awesome. Yes, for real. Congrats
Yes,
on
I
that.
begged
That's a big
when I
deal.
was in the
So
classroom.
it looks like.
I begged my
Go ahead. Sorry,
administration
Terry.
for
Go ahead.
like 8 years for one. I finally got it. Like 2 years before I left, I got it.
Nice.
Oh, and Dana said her students have
All
Mac
right.
laptops.
We'll see if it works. I'll give it one more shot. Yeah, this will work on it. That's actually what I'm running on right now. And again, so there's kind of workarounds to this. Uh, if I were in a Zoom call with you right now, I'm running into this mess over and over again. Probably what I would do is I would go ahead and connect using and show like my phone screen showing the computer so that students could see it, because obviously everyone's time is valuable. Um, I'm considering doing that right now instead of sharing my screen. Oh, wait, hold up. Let's see if it'll do it. Just need it to do it once. I'm gonna go grab my phone, Terry, and see if I can see if I can screen share on there.
Yeah,
Is that cool?
absolutely. Or if you want,
Okay, cool. Give me just a second, y'all. It'll still keep.
I was going to say, if you want, I could try to
Do what?
pull it up on mine and share my screen. Let me see.
Great if you're able to. If you
Or
are,
grab your
just let me
phone.
know,
Grab
and
your phone just in case, and while you're going, I'll
I'll
try to
stop
pull it
sharing
up.
my screen.
Okay.
All right, I'll be right back. All right, it just got my phone. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work on here, guys. I'm so sorry about that.
Maybe slow.
Let me see.
He's talking about the barn doors
What
behind
did he
you.
say?
Okay, it's installing now.
Nice.
Swift Playgrounds. You're going to have to guide me, though.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I'm sorry. He actually meant
That's
barn
fine.
doors behind you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
nobody likes my
assumed he
barn
meant
doors?
that.
Fine. All right, let's see.
Okay. I'm signing up for a different account
Okay.
on this Hopin so that I
Okay.
can attend, as a different person.
And
All right, so I go to. I don't see. Do you know if you're able to use this on a mobile device? Because I don't see where I go into. Oh, there we go. Sessions. Okay. Really appreciate y'all's patience with this.
we're about halfway loaded here.
Let me try. Okay, cool. It's kind of. I wonder if it's closed out my session. It's looking like I'm not able to get into my session.
Okay.
And that could just be because of our time.
You got it? Okay.
Okay, here we go.
I got the introduction.
I think I do. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh. I got to mute myself. How do I do that?
I'm not sure on the phone. Try muting your. You got it?
Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, so let me do this. I'm going to stop sharing.
And I have it installed, by the way, if you want me to share mine.
Okay, cool.
No, not at all.
Do you mind sharing your screen then?
Okay.
Okay, go for it. What type of headphones do you have? I have Logitech. Got the game.
I see you're spoiled.
Oh man, yours is running so much better. This is so cool.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm gonna
Terry,
mute
I'm
the
gonna guide
background
you
music.
through it.
Okay.
Okay, man? Yeah, totally fine. But yeah, y'all can see just by looking at this, immediately it looks so, if you ever worked with like a coding software program, it looks so much cooler, better, fancier. You're like, oh, it's a game I'm about to play. And so again, if you look up, you'll see kind of the steps. Look for the gem and the puzzle, so the students can see byte is right there, and the gem is about 3 squares away. So you need to enter the correct combination of the move forward and collect gem commands. So we're going to need to move forward 3 times, and you actually need to type, Terry, you need to type move forward, and uh, capitalization is key, my man. Otherwise, you're going to run into errors. You know this, though. You're the one who usually teaches me. Um, so move forward 3 times, collect gem the 4th time, because that's going to make byte go on up and collect the gem. And then you go ahead and hit run, and we'll watch it do its work. 1, 2, 3, boom. And so that's step 1. So like the students, it's so cool. When the students see this in action, they're like, yes, I did it. I got it right. Like, you know, they're all excited and they feel like, man, I could totally be a computer software engineer. I got this. And I'm like, yeah, you do. Hang on to that thought. And remember that when it gets way, way, way more advanced than this. Um, Okay, so we still have a little more time. So Terry, would you mind, instead of going to another command lesson, can you click on the functions tab so we can kind of get an intro to
Sure.
functions?
Let me go back.
Cool, thanks. Okay, yeah, so look at functions is kind of in the middle left
And which
side of
one
your
do you want me to
screen.
go? Do you want me to?
You'll see
Okay.
the different tabs. Yep, just go to introduction. And again, we're just going to kind of look at, like, again, Apple teaches the teacher. So you as the teacher can then teach the students. So functions, what are functions? It's when you group tasks. Every day you perform a range of tasks automatically without thinking about what you're doing. Cool. Even a simple task like tying your shoe took time to automate. You learn to do it using a sequence of steps. And then if you click next, you loop, you swoop, you pull. All right, so hold on there, Terry. What I'll do with my students right here to kind of be interactive is I'll be like, hey, tell me something that y'all do every day. And then you even get to get into their personal lives a little bit. So one student's like, I eat food every day. Another student's like, I play Minecraft every day. Another student's like, I get on Instagram every single day. And then I'll just explain, like, if I say brush your teeth, you're going to go brush your teeth, but there are like 20 steps it took to go brush your teeth. You're going to have to stand up, walk to the bathroom, put toothpaste on toothbrush, hold it up to your mouth, you know, like literally scrape up and down on your teeth. There's so many steps, but if I had to say that every single time I'm brushing my teeth, you're not even going to like mention anymore. And the same is true with code. We can list out 30 commands, or we can create a function that has those 30 commands inside of it. And so we're going to learn functions now. And so if you look right there, they even show you how to write out functions with Swift. You write func, tie my shoe. This is you naming it, tie my shoe. And then you put the parentheses and the curly braces. And then everything inside of it are the different commands that will happen whenever you tie my shoe. Now, this is obviously a fictional scenario, but we'll see in just a second how Byte would use this. And then again, you put the parentheses at the end, and you keep it all inside the curly braces. And some of you may know this. This is called defining your function. So you can see right there, they even highlight after you define your function, you call it by name to run its commands. So the last little slide was defining the function. This is now commanding that function to roll. Okay, so let's move on to coding. And here's what it says. Have you noticed there's no turn right command available to you? If your character needs to turn right to reach a gem, how can you make that happen? So Terry, if you kind of just click on the byte or the little map world, you can actually shift it and move it. And sometimes my students will ask that because looking at it from a certain angle, it's like, I can't really figure out, you know, like you can even see their thoughts going. They're like, okay, if I turn left 3 times, that means to turn right and all that kind of stuff. So try to be a little quick with it for the sake of time. Here's what it says. Step 1, figure out how to turn to the right using only the commands you've used before. Use composition to turn your character to the right when needed. Enter the commands to collect the gem. Okay, because this lesson doesn't actually show you how to do functions, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next lesson. This lesson is just teaching students to think, okay, if I'm turning right, what I really need to do is turn left 3 times. So now, with this, we've got some new stuff. And we learned other commands in previous lessons, so don't get lost if you're seeing like, okay, what is this little portal thing and what is this little, toggle switch thing? Don't worry about that. If we had several days of class together, you would learn that in the commands section. But here's what we're going to do. Select the inside of the function body between the curly braces. So Terry, can you do that for us? Then enter 3 turn left commands. So let's write that out 3 times. Cool. Okay, so at this point of the lesson, I've told the students, okay, if I run it, is it going to work? And most students will say, yeah, it'll work. Go ahead, run it. And I'll run it, and then there's an error. You're like, why didn't it work? And I was like, well, because all you did was define the function. You actually need to call it. You need to command byte to go and turn right somewhere. So Terry, we're going to try this thing out. Your goal is to get to, let me see, enter 3 turn left beneath the function, use existing commands along with turn right to toggle open the closed switch. Okay, so Terry, can you kind of move the map around a little bit because you'll be able to see the switch that needs to be toggled? Yeah. Okay, so if you guys look right, okay, if basically,
Yeah,
Terry, can you
yeah,
hover
I was
your
trying
mouse?
to
I
do
don't know
that,
if I'll
but
be
I
able to
didn't
see
see
your
it
mouse,
show up
but
on
try
your
hovering
screen
it.
for you.
Yeah, it's not. So don't worry about that. Okay, so the switch we need to toggle, guys, is basically across the water closest to the bottom. It's like a little gray square. That's our goal. We need to get byte from point A to point B and toggle open that switch. So Terry, you see that little
Uh-huh.
circular, like kind of glittering looking thing? That's a portal. Whenever you go through that portal, he's going to go through it and then come out facing the same direction. But Byte is not able to
Gotcha.
go down ledges. He can only go down steps. So if you look at this, tell me how you think you could get there. What are some commands you think you could write to get Byte through the portal and then
So if I
toggling
were
open
to
that
walk
switch? Go
2
ahead and start
times, that
writing
would
it
put
out
me in
for
that
us.
first portal, right?
No,
Oh, you're
because he
right.
can't go
Okay.
over that
Oh,
ledge,
okay.
you
There
kind
we
of
go.
can't see from that angle, but that's a little ledge.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So
See, so you
let's
need to get him to go down
forward
those
or move
stairs.
forward.
No. Keep the turn right because you want to, those turn left commands, keep those in there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see. You're right.
Those 3
You're right.
turn left commands that you put in there.
You're right.
Yeah, because we're going to
You're
use
right.
that turn right when we start calling everything. Yep. There you go. Good stuff. All right, so now we go down to the command section. There you go. So what are we going to
And
do first?
then
We're going to move
turn
forward.
right. Well, turn left.
Yeah, this is the same stuff that the students are going through in their heads. And the cool thing is this isn't just computer programming. This is critical thinking. Like they're really having to think 3D in their heads. So you're going to turn left.
Then I'm going to turn right.
Forward. Then what are you going to do? Yeah, and now you can turn right because you've defined what turn right is going to do, which is turn left 3 times. You're going to move forward. Don't worry about that switch because it's already open, but you will want to get
turn
through
right
the portal
again
to make life easier for you.
And then I'll move forward.
Yep.
That'll put me
There you go. And by the way, Terry,
a little
I don't
bit
think
when
you've
y'all
ever coded
first
with
started
Swift
it last
before,
year.
have
I
you?
was in there with y'all.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, it just goes to show you, obviously Terry's way more
Not
advanced
really.
than students will be, but yeah. But he's learning this right now on
So when
the
I come out of the portal, which
So-
way am I facing?
Okay, so we've turned right, we've moved forward.
Okay.
The same way you
So
went
then
in.
I would turn right
You're
again
facing the same
when I
way you
come
went
out. Right. And then move forward. Turn left.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Then move.
And then one more move forward. And then once you land on the switch, there's a command that we learned earlier called toggle switch.
Yeah, I see it has like the
works.
IntelliSense. As I'm typing it, it's filling it in for me. Okay.
Yep. And you can totally even just click on it. All right. So run your program. Let's see if it works. Left, forward, right, which is turning left 3 times. It's running all those commands. Forward, turning right again, which is left 3 times. Going forward through the portal. Kind of goes in, comes out. Kind of cool to watch. Needs to turn right again. Forward, turning left, forward, toggle. Boom.
All right.
So you did it. Good stuff, Terry. Okay, you can go ahead
No
and stop
problem.
sharing your screen now. Thank you so much. That was super helpful in the midst of my computer not working too well. Exactly, Dana. And that is why I love using this software, is because it is so fun. The students, in their minds, they're playing a game, but in my mind, they're learning how to code using an Apple language, which is really cool. And obviously, the more lessons you do, the more advanced it gets, the more they learn, the more they can even apply this to things like building an actual app. When you become even more advanced, you can use an app called Xcode, and that will actually help them to build apps on iPhones. And they can actually put that app on their iPhone and kind of mess around with it and see it work. So that's all I have. We're like right at time. I don't know if we need to leave or if like we leave time for questions.
If you all have
Just
any more questions
you
for
direct me,
Mr.
Terry.
Stevens, please let us know. He's going to put down his email, and you can just shoot him an email, and he can help you with the resources. Again, if we went a little too fast for you, or if you just want more information about using these products.
Yeah. Thank y'all so much. It was really cool hearing from y'all and seeing where you're from.
Great job,
doing
David.
the amazing stuff y'all are doing. Killing it.
No problem. We're going to head back to
thank you, Terry.
the
Thanks for your help.
stage now for closing remarks. Yes.
Sounds good. So I just clicked.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
All right, cool. Thanks a lot. All right, Karen. Hope it helps.